Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting for Tuesday, March 25th, 2025. I am Chair Rick Vest. To my left is Vice Chair Krista Yoakum. To her left, Commissioner Matt Schulte. And to my right, Commissioners Sean Flowerday and Chelsea Johnson. Would you please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Clerk, please begin the meeting.
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located at the wall at the rear of the hearing room. All written materials to be discussed at today's meeting can be viewed at the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Printing options are available upon request. Brings us to item 1, minutes. Approval of the Board of Commissioners meeting, minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on March 18th, 2025.
I move approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yep.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2, claims. 2A, approval of the claims processed through March 21st, 2025. And I'll note we have an amendment for payroll.
I move approval of the claims, including payroll processed through March 19th, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the claims, including payroll. Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yep.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 2B, approval of the claims, including billings for goods and services beyond the 90-day time period provided in Nebraska Revised Statute 23-135. They are for Civic Plus, dated March 24th, 2025, for a total of $3,722. Executive Janitorial Corporation, dated March 24th, 2025, for a total of $4,875. And Hub International Great Plains LLC, dated March 24th, 2025, for a total of $15,913.80.
I move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve item 2B. Please call the roll.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 3 is our special presentation, the Commissioner's Award of Excellence 2024 annual winner to Elena Coulter, County Attorney's Office, in the category of productivity. And I have
Chris,
Good
welcome.
morning. Thank you so much. Chris Turner, Chief Deputy, Lancaster County Attorney's Office. I'm here today on behalf of Pat Condon and our Operations Manager Nicole Ringler, as well as the entire office, to recognize Elena Coulter as the 2024 Excellence Award winner for the area of productivity. In our office, Elena is a paralegal that has a wide variety of tasks. So largely we kind of segment into certain specialties, but Elena's talents has kind of carried her to do a lot of different things in the office. So not only criminal litigation and assisting attorneys with that, mental health board, she helps kind of with the mortuaries and the autopsies that our office does and working with families whose loved ones have undergone an autopsy. She helps with our diversion programming and making sure our records are accurate. Part of the reason why she's being recognized is because of the role she had over the past year with assisting a lot of others. So we had a few different staff members out on maternity leave. And because Elena was able to step up and because she has knowledge that goes across a lot of different areas, we were able to not have to go out and hire a new temporary worker. And Elena just took on a lot of extra duties, and including at one point, I think, handling about 400 extra cases onto her workload during that time for several months. So we certainly appreciate everything our staff does, but Elena is kind of a shining star of what it means to be productive and efficient. So we want to thank her for all her work.
Absolutely.
Once you prove your competency, you get your fingers in everything,
The
then,
reward
right?
for good work is more work.
But thank you, seriously, thank you for stepping up and taking that on.
Mr. Clerk, is there a resolution?
Yes. I'd be happy to read her nomination letter into the record. So Elena Coulter paralegal for the County Attorney's Office has been selected as the annual Commissioner's Award of Excellence winner for 2024. Coulter has worked for Lancaster County for 5 years. She was nominated by Nicole Ringler in the category of productivity. In her nomination, Ringler states, during the first half of 2024, March through July, we had 2 staff members on maternity leave consecutive to one another. Our criminal staff is a very efficient team, and coverage for one desk for any length of time produces a notable lag time in achieving deadlines. This time frame needed extra hands on deck. Elena has always worked to understand the duties of a variety of desks. She asks questions and is aware and makes herself available to assist others when her duties are completed, and sees others in the need of some additional help. Her role during March through July lent itself to full-time coverage of half a traffic docket, and for a couple weeks, the full traffic docket. To put this in perspective, during this time frame, the assigned portion of the traffic department filed roughly 400 cases. These cases have managed starting with entering the new case, filing the new case, obtaining and providing discovery, police reports, relevant documents, prior convictions, video, photos, etc., prepping the case for trial, and closing the case. Elena accomplished this while still continuing to cover her own assigned duties. She handled this coverage with timeliness, accuracy, professionalism, and willingness. For these reasons, we are pleased to award Elena Coulter with the Annual Commissioner's Award of Excellence for 2024.
Elena, it's so good to have you here this morning, and thank you for all you've done to support Lancaster County and one of our important facets, the County Attorney's Office. So on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, I'm honored to award you the Award of Excellence.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I guess I'll say something. I just want to thank Nicole for nominating me and for being such a great operations manager. She makes our day-to-day run really smoothly, makes it easy for me to do my job. I want to thank Chris and Pat for being such great bosses. Their knowledge and leadership help us do what we do. We couldn't do it without them. And I really just love where I work and who I work with, and I'm just grateful to be a part of the County Attorney's Office. So thank you.
And we really appreciate people like you who are willing to step up, so thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your work on behalf of Lancaster County.
We have,
Thank you.
Chelsea, anything?
Thank you.
Yeah, Krista?
I'm sure during that time that you stepped up and took on those extra cases and took on that extra workload as people were out of the office, it gave all your coworkers a lot of assurance that things were being done, being done well. So I really appreciate that. And to be nominated by your peers for this is really a good thing. Thank you, Nicole, for recognizing her strengths.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
Commissioners, that brings us to item 4, our consent items. These are routine business items that are expected to be adopted without dissent. Any individual item may be removed for special discussion and consideration by a commissioner or any member of the public without prior notice. Unless there is an exception, these items will be approved as one single vote of the Board of Commissioners. These items are the approval of A, amendments to the following county contracts, C-23-0419 with 3+1 for cash vest liquidity and treasury analysis services for the county treasurer, C-23-0529 with JEO Consulting Group Incorporated for on-call structural consultation services, C-23-0464 with Philipper Colton Olvig for on-call general engineering services, and B, a subaward contract with the YWCA of Lincoln for the Racial Equity Training Program in an amount not to exceed $13,970.
I move approval of the consent items.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the consent items. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yep.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 5 is new business. 5A, a resolution in the matter directing the county engineer to conduct a study and the planning department to write a report regarding the vacation of a portion of public road right-of-way located in Lancaster County, Nebraska, more particularly described in Exhibit A.
Good morning, John Barry, Lancaster County Engineering. This is our next vacation request. This is for a half-mile section of North 141st Street going south from Rock Creek Road. A month ago, you vacated or are okay with the vacation of North 141st Street, the mile going north. This is the next piece of the same petition going south. This road currently is not a gravel road. It's not a dirt road. It's really just used as a farm drive. But there is some deeded right-of-way here that we currently own that we would like to get off of our system. It's something that it's just our next vacation request that we're asking for.
Okay, and John, this is just the first step, and then we will have a public hearing on this.
Correct. We have 30 days to get back to you with a study along with the planning department as a recommendation of what we would like to see done. And then, of course, then there'll be a hearing and our normal process, or your normal process.
I move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve 5A. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yeah.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 5B, special designated license application for Seostris Shrine Holding Corp. to hold an event at the Seostris Shrine on April 5th, 2025.
Do we have anyone here to speak on this? Come on up. Only a question. Well, we're honored to have you here, sir, so why don't you come on up and we'll ask you questions. You just introduce yourself
My name is Henry Schultz. I'm treasurer of the Seostris Shriners.
and tell us a little bit more about the event.
It is a activity by one of our units as a fundraiser. It's called Beer, Wine, and Spirits. It's a tasting type event. And what we're seeking is approval for an outside 20 by 20 outside area to be used. We have a cigar vendor coming, so out the building on that, and also they have alcohol in that fenced-in supervised area, as an addition to our already current bar license.
And you've done this event before.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's a yearly event. It is a fraternal event, fraternal fundraising.
And you're aware of all the requirements?
Oh, yes,
and you-
very much so.
Very good. Henry, thank you for being here this
I have two attorneys that are on my back all the time saying, this is what you do.
They do that. Don't
They're
they?
great guys, though. I want that on the record.
I'll believe it when I see it, but yeah.
I would move approval.
Second.
Thank you.
Motion and a second to approve item B. Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yep.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 5C, a contract with Blue Valley Public Safety Incorporated for storm warning sirens. The estimated cost of the county is not to exceed $38,652.60.
Good morning, Jim David Saver, Director, Lincoln, Lancaster County Emergency Management. Blue Valley Public Safety has the current maintenance contract for our siren network. They always do a great job making sure that it's working at peak performance. This agreement, this contract allows me to purchase a new siren and move an existing siren. So in our ongoing effort to keep pace with growth and development throughout Lancaster County, again, this is a good opportunity to enhance and expand the current system that we have in place.
And this would add an additional siren, Jim?
Correct. It's purchase of a new siren, and part of the process is to move an older siren. The new siren has an expanded coverage area. The older siren can be moved to a fringe area where we need coverage. We just don't need maximum coverage of a new siren.
Okay.
All part of the delicate balance.
As you said, it's an ongoing story. The chapters are changing.
I'd move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Please call the roll.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yep.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 5D, a mini grant contract application with the Nebraska Department of Transportation Highway Safety Office in the amount of $3,600 for the county sheriff to participate in a statewide Nebraska drug impaired driving enforcement mobilization to reduce traffic injuries and fatalities as a result of impaired drivers.
Do we have a motion?
I'll move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yep.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 5E, a contract with GT Distributors Incorporated for the annual supply of sheriff uniforms and accessories. The cost of the county shall not exceed $3,000.
I move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve item E. Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yep.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 5F, contracts with Hamilton Equipment Co. and Herc Rentals Incorporated for the annual service equipment and an accessory rental secondary contract. Cost of the county shall not exceed $19,000 for both contracts.
I move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yep.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 5G, contract with Brown Brothers Construction Incorporated for painting services. Cost of the county shall not exceed $30,000.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Please call the roll.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 5H, contract with Grass Pad Incorporated for the annual supply of turf fertilizer and chemicals. The cost of the county is not to exceed $5,000.
I'll move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve item H. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yep.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. Brings us to legislative update.
Do we have anything on legislative updates?
I would move that we oppose LB 629 that was brought up last week. Senator Hardin's bill regarding a county referendum and initiative process. The bill would, in my view, create a lot of uncertainty around the actions that the county board makes. It would allow for basically any decision that we make to be repealed, which, given that we do a lot of kind of just day-to-day construction projects, things like that, I just don't think that is something that we would want to open up to that process.
We did discuss this some on Thursday.
We did. Yeah, I'll second that motion.
Has this bill been prioritized by anybody?
No,
So we're
I don't.
not going anywhere then, right?
Let me double check.
Well, it hasn't been prioritized. That doesn't mean that it's not going anywhere. Like, it could easily find its way into a package.
And Sean, you mentioned last week that NACO is,
I don't know what, I mean,
or
I'm not going to try to speculate on what NACO's positions on any piece of legislation are or are not. I have been told by a higher representative of NACO that they plan to try to kill this thing with fire, and that was a direct quote.
So Chelsea, do you think this warrants a letter,
I think a letter.
testimony?
Yeah, I think a letter
I think
would be
that's right.
fine.
Is the hearing this week?
Yeah, it's Thursday.
Yeah. And I mean, I think all of us understand the importance that the voice of the people is very, very important in our form of government. We don't want to say the voice of government, the voice of the people should be extinguished or doesn't matter. But we're walking a fine line here because people that do business with us have to be able to count on us living up to the terms of the agreements we make and not subject to
Yeah.
second guessing or somebody's wrong, the wrong company got, I think they have to be able to know that when they come to us, they can do business with us in a responsible, and that's my concern.
It's the endless tension between representative government and direct democracy. Then there's not an easy way to find that middle ground. But yeah, I think this bill, I also just frankly I don't like it whenever someone, I mean, this bill was half a page long. It was entirely struck and replaced by 15 pages of brand new text. That's not my favorite way to do it. So and there's a lot here to kind of boil through. Yeah, I'm opposed to this legislation, so I'll be supportive of the motion.
What public entities, remind me what public entities would be subject to a reconsideration under this bill at all? Or is it just counties, cities, like,
Counties, every decision that the county board would make.
so it's just
essentially.
counties?
Yeah. Yeah, the bill as introduced, we didn't, I think, find a reason to discuss too in depth because it was pretty short and, I mean, could have been something that we could at least be neutral on, but then with all of the specifics essentially opening up
Right.
nearly every decision that we make and creating that uncertainty. And I agree with what Commissioner Vest said. You know, I think it's important for, you know, the people to have a voice, and part of that is why they elected us. And when we get into kind of these, like, again, day-to-day sort of construction type of projects and things like that getting opened up, that's where it just, I think, would make it really difficult for folks to do business with the county.
Also, get your bills written in the fall.
Now, there are, you know, we do have public hearings, there are appeal processes on certain aspects, but I could see it being very obstructing progress if we had every decision was questioned and potentially repealed.
Go ahead.
I guess,
Matt.
yes, and part of what brought this forward is things like the solar farm, where the public comes in mass to oppose it, and many people on this board are not interested in listening to the public. So there is a reason why this is coming, stuff like this comes forward. We need to be
Public
willing-
came in mass. Did you hear it?
Well,
And we
hold it,
received,
hold it.
we also received a
Commissioner,
lot.
what, excuse me,
Sorry.
folks. Commissioner Schulte, you had.
So I would just point out that we also need to be committed to really listening and responding to what the public says when they come.
There may be some
So,
disagreement.
Would you like to see polling on what Lancaster County residents think on renewable energy?
Right.
Because I'd be
I
happy to
think-
provide the board with those numbers.
And we
Fair
received
enough.
a lot of comments online. Like, it wasn't just folks who
No,
showed
it
up.
wasn't.
No, it was.
It wasn't one.
Commissioners, I would like to remind that we are currently in the midst of litigation with the solar facilities, so I just want to bring that up.
One point. Back to the matter at hand, LB 629. And I think we have a motion and a second. We've discussed it at length. Let's go ahead and vote.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Best.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Anything else on legislative update? I'm glad you caught this one, Chelsea, because I knew there was one hanging out.
I don't know.
Now, we'll move forward, Mr. Clerk.
Next item is item 6, public comment. Members of the public wishing to speak in items related to county business not on the agenda may do so at this time.
Anyone from the public wishing to speak at this time? Seeing none?
Item 7, announcements. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold a staff meeting on Thursday, March 27th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold the following meetings and public hearing on Tuesday, April 1st at 9 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building. That is the regular meeting. The public hearing regarding a comprehensive plan amendment 25001, a request to amend the county 1 and 6 year road bridge program, and the Board of Equalization meeting. County Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commish@lancaster.ne.gov. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting is broadcast live on LNK TV. LNK TV is available on Allo Channel 2 and Spectrum Channel 1300. For the rebroadcast schedule, visit lincoln.ne.gov. Meetings are also streamed live on YouTube and Facebook. LNK TV apps are available on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Item 8 is adjournment.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Motion and second to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yep.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Best.
Yes, we are
Motion carries.
adjourned.